Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Leave it to the incredible journalist Gayle King to ask the important questions.
Shouldn't the messaging be, though, Rochelle, if we're going into year two, people think we're waiting for you to sound the trumpet and say it's all clear. We're not really going to get an all clear, are we? We just have to face the fact that we're going to have to live with this. True?
I think that that's probably true. But what I would say is we have a lot of control and power to do that as we come together, as we get vaccinated, as we do those prevention things that work to protect one another. We can bring down the amount of disease in this country and get much faster to that place.
Yeah, no, we can't. I don't know. What do you think that's going to happen? Because we could totally do it, Chad. It's possible. It's not possible. Not with the fighting and the anger and the whining and the bitching and the moaning. It ain't happening like you think it is. You know that and I know that. Cheers to everybody out there who doesn't live in the world of reality. God bless you. Here's the reality. We've said it for a very long time. That word pandemic needs to be switched to endemic, which means get on with your life. Now that we have apparently some pills that are on the way, one from Merck, and the other, my favorite, is Pfizer. Pfizer came out yesterday, and they're like, yeah, you need a booster shot because our stuff doesn't work against this Omicron. How about those pills? Yeah, they should work. Wait, what? You didn't even test these things for that. Oh, no, this should be fine. I'm not sure I believe in you guys. I'm just asking a simple question. You guys think it's your stuff that we shoot into our, it doesn't work. Nah, you get like 3 or 4 of them, they should work okay. But it eludes it. Yeah, but you'll still be fine. But the pills, they should totally work. I'm going to go back again. Did you guys specifically use the pills and test the pills on this? No, but, you know, this should be all right. That's where we are when it comes to this. And nobody's paying attention anymore, right? New York and California and the powers that be that want you to mask up everywhere you go. Of course they are, because that's what they do. And the funny thing is, all they do is suck the life out of everybody, and not a fun way, right? They go and they ruin everybody's day. They're a giant, fart in an elevator all the time. That's what they're doing. And at the end of the day, Florida's like, look, don't break laws. And we're moving on with ourselves. Oh, that's not very nice. No, but the reality is everybody ends up at the same place. Denmark came out and they said, we're not going to do anything here. We're going to overdo stuff. Sweden came out and said, no, we're not going to do anything. And everybody's like, Sweden's going to just hate people. They just want to kill everybody. That's all they're a bunch of. And they said, hey, we're all going to end up in the same place. And everybody's like, you're a liar. We're going to do it better than you. We're not going to end up in the same place. What has happened more often than not when it comes to this damn thing? We all kind of end up in the same place. You're trying to control a wave, right? So it's coming at you. You're trying to control the wave in a natural setting, not in some little small area that you've confined it to with a wave machine, but in nature. You're trying to control it while you're out there. And all you have at your disposal is a mask. Do you think you're going to be able to do that? Honestly, no. You know it and I know it. So here we go. More of the insanity, more of the masking up, more of that. We should really, really figure what out to do, right? We got to make sure the kids don't get sick. What about Santa? What are the alternatives to that?
Making reindeer food and scattering that out in the yard is always fun. And I know that most parents enjoy making cookies for Santa and eating the leftovers. So maybe coming up with some kind of special surprise that you can do.
Yeah, alternatives to Santa's visit. That's like people are talking about that. Well, Santa can't cook us. Santa's got I was afraid to get the corona. Santa is fine. Enough. Stop living your life in fear. Pay more attention to things that matter. That's it. If you're that terrified of this, I continue to go back because, we got new masking policies. We let somebody in the other day for 3 minutes to drop off cookies and emails fly out. Oh, God, somebody's in a building. Somebody's in a building. Everybody in here is damn vaccinated. Everybody. Some people have vaccinated 3 times. Some people have been vaccinated, had the damn thing. We're all wearing masks. What are you afraid of? I feel like you guys know something that we don't, us regular folk. Oh, yeah, you guys know this coronavirus causes you to, turn into a zombie. It's insane. It is. It is absolutely insane. I'm over it. I said yesterday, the only place I wear a mask now is at work. I don't wear it anywhere else. People have moved on. I think it's time for government to move on. I think it's time for businesses to go, look, you guys know what you need to do with yourself. All right? Get it, don't get it. We're all moving on with our lives. There's no reason for us to continue this charade anymore. But we'll continue to play kabuki theater when it comes to hygiene. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. It's very interesting. Jerome Powell, Fed Reserve Chair, speaking. There's this word transitory, right? So remember when inflation came in and it was like, oh, it's going to be transitory. It's going to be here, momentarily. It's a blip in the matrix, but then the blip's going to get fixed and it's going to go away. But the reality is there's a lot of things, and Jerome is really crazy here. He's super out of control. So I'm going to preface that because when you hear it, you're like, wow, that guy needs to slow down.
Supply chain problems have made it difficult for producers to meet strong demand. Increases in energy prices and rents are also pushing inflation upward. Overall inflation is running well above our 2% longer run goal, with the PCE price index up 5% over the 12 months ending in October. Most forecasters, including at the Fed, continue to expect that inflation will move down significantly over the next year as supply and demand imbalances abate. But it now appears that factors pushing inflation upward will linger well into next year.
Oh, my God. Well into next year? I thought it was transitory, sir, meaning it was here momentarily, but then soon to be whisked away onto somewhere else, as if the clouds of earth have breathed upon it, and whew, it's gone.
How long does inflation have to run above your target before the Fed decides maybe it's not so transitory?
You're absolutely right. Inflation has run well above 2% for long enough. So I think the word transitory has different meanings to different people. To many, it carries a sense of short-lived. We tend to use it to mean that it won't leave a permanent mark in the form of higher inflation. I think it's probably a good time to retire that word and try to explain more clearly what we mean.
Yeah. Not permanent. Best way to describe it. Not permanent. Not permanent. You're saying, well, what we mean is it's transitory, that it's not going to leave a permanent mark. But what I hear is you guys were explaining it to me and to the rest of the world that it was momentarily going to be here. So now what you're saying is what we have is inflation. And it's here. And it's growing, and compared to where we were last year, up almost 10%. On average, way too many small businesses are taking out loans to try to stay afloat, even to get some products, where they're overpaying for products or having to go to other places to get products, selling them at a break even or a loss just so they can have products. Phenomenal. It's good. That's where we are. Now the debt ceiling. Thank goodness we got that sorted out. Congratulations.
Where families of default could mean millions of American jobs eliminated, trillions in household wealth erased. We must lift the debt ceiling to cover the expenses already incurred. It's important to note over 95% of it incurred during the Trump administration. Yeah. Who controlled Congress? You guys, right? You guys all signed off on it. Anything that gets signed off here, it's going to be you guys, along with Biden, doing it. That's the reality of it. Every one of you signed off. Every one of you voted on some of this crap. So let's settle down.
the rush to shut everything down and to hand out tons of money over the last 24 months so people could not work based on something that was never settled science and continues to be not settled science, but is at times pushed as if it's settled only to see the goalpost move, has caused ridiculous amounts of printing of money and a stagnatory world of which we live in now. So let's blame it on the last guy, because that's totally the easiest thing to do. Trump does it. Obama did it. Everybody loves to blame it on the last cat. You wanted this. You got it. Now you want to spend more money. We're going to talk about that. Your Build Back Better plan. Woo! Building back better. What about that CBO score? It's not real. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Plus a great pissing match between Elon Musk and Senator Warren, or as he calls her, Senator Karen. And then I posted it, and then the hilarity of people are still pissed off that he won Person of the Year. People are still angry about that. That. First of all, you can debate and go, I don't know if that should be the Person of the Year. You can have that debate. That's totally fine. It's the fact that people are angry over it. And we know who's angry over it. You should be. Well, you're probably hangry. Let me fix that for you. It's called Omaha Steaks. Delicious Omaha Steaks. Let me tell you about Omaha Steaks. First of all, you go to omahasteaks.com, and the search bar at the top, type in code Chad. This is when the savings begins. Right now, still opportunities to give the gift that keeps on giving all the way to your belly. And it is Omaha Steaks. You're going to save 50% when you order the perfect gift package today, $99.99. So you're going to get the world-famous bacon-wrapped filet mignon, the chicken breast, jumbo franks, sides, desserts, so much more. Man, and you got to use that code Chad in that search bar. But you're going to save huge. You're going to get 50% off. Now, you're already getting steak burgers, but guess what they're going to do? They're going to throw another 8 for free just for using code Chad. Ready to ship right away, no supply chain issues. And when you break down the fact that you're going to get some 32 entrees with the price you're paying, it comes down to pennies. And it's incredible. For the best meat, the incredible flavor, and the best value. 100% guaranteed. It's omahasteaks.com. Keyword Chad. Use it there. If you love people and you say to yourself, this Christmas, I'm giving the gift that gives and gives and gives, it's Omaha Steaks. omahasteaks.com. Keyword Chad in the search bar. Chad Benson Show.
Podcasts are American as hot dogs, apple pie, football, and sushi.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Okay, maybe not sushi. Next time you have a craving for something sweet and tangy, download a Chad Benson Show podcast.
Boy, that is good. It's different because you get a little bit of saltiness.
It's so good because it's sweet and salty at the same time.
Get a taste on iTunes, iHeart, or Spotify and binge to your ears' content.
Oh, yeah.
You're listening to The Chad Benson Show.
So we're going to be building back better. That's what they're hoping for. It's going to totally save the world and do everything amazing.
We can afford to do all this without raising taxes on a single penny and anyone making less than $400,000 a year. And experts acknowledge if we do this, we're going to reduce inflation, not increase it. Reduce inflation.
So what is the CBO, right? So they go and they get the CBO, and the CBO, if you guys know what the CBO is, right, Congressional Budget Office, nonpartisan think tank. They've gotten things wrong before, but they're going to give you a score. They're going to tell you, look, is this true? Could we actually reduce debt? Could we actually do all the things that they're claiming? Nobody ever answers the question. Very few ask it. Peter Doocy, who is now the Jim Acosta for the Biden administration, less antagonistic and actually ask questions rather than trying to be part of the story.
So the president says that the Build Back Better is not going to add a penny to the deficit. The CBO has this new score where they assume that social programs are going to be made permanent, and in that case it would add almost $3 trillion. So does that mean that President Biden will commit that these programs are not going to be made permanent?
Well, first of all, what you're talking about here is a fake CBO score that is not based on the actual bill that anybody is voting on. This was a request by Senator Graham to score a bill that is not currently being debated.
Yeah. So Lindsey Graham asked, hey, guys, just out of curiosity, give us a score that the entitlement programs, which, we put into place, are going to go away. They're going to sunset in 3 years, as they're saying. They're going to sunset in 3 years. They're going to sunset. They're going to disappear in 3 years. So let's go back and look at the entitlement programs that have disappeared. There you go. When government implements something, if the program disappeared, it's only because they came up with a bigger program, and that was then eventually, consumed by the other program. Kind of morphed into something. It never goes away. So the reality is it would add $3 trillion in debt, not cut. It's adding to, not cutting. Well, it's a fake score because it's fake CBO. No, I think the reality is all of us understand that we can't even get rid of the GD mask, for God's sakes. We are 24 months into our 15 days to stop the spread. I don't know who does the math over there, but come on. And to think for a moment that you're going to get rid of a program that you implement. Not going to happen. It doesn't matter what it is. Everybody's got their must-haves and their wants. And the must-haves for so many people is the spending of everybody else's money, and more often than not on programs that suck and aren't effective. But you know what they don't do? They never go away. They're like herpes. Chad! I'm just saying. Chad Benson Show.
Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
That is me. Last week of shows. Excited. Very excited. Have some time off and hang out with Jack. I think my little brother's going to come out here. We're going to do a lot of golfing. They're going to play a lot of hockey. I'm going to watch a lot of naps. Me taking naps. That's what I'm doing. I watch a lot of TV, and then I slowly but surely fall asleep. Yeah, it's my time. And plus Christmas. Oh, man. Spend some money, baby. All right, you know what you're supposed to do? Go spend some money. Speaking of money, I found this hilarious. Hilarious. So yesterday, Elizabeth Warren tweets, let's change the rig tax code. Or hold on. So the person of the year will actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else. Elon Musk. You remind me of when I was a kid. My friend's angry mom would just randomly yell at everyone for no reason. Please don't call the manager on me, Senator Karen. So I posted that. And just to watch, because I know people get pissed because there's people out there who are angry at everything. And so, of course, they started flooding in what a scumbag he is. And I'm like, hold on a second. Well, look at all the money he's made. He's not made it. He made money this year because he had options that were expiring. He had to activate those things and sell them off, which is what he did. And he'll pay taxes on them, capital gains taxes. So he will pay capital gains taxes on that. That'll be what he pays. Okay. But he doesn't pay taxes. Well, you don't pay taxes on stocks until you realized what you've made. And you also don't write off what you've lost until you exercise and leave the trade. So you buy something at $10, it goes to $5. How much have you made? 15. Wrong. You made $5. If you exercise that, you take that money out of the market and you roll it straight into something else. You're not paying. You're moving. If you take it out of the marketplace, then you have to pay your capital gains on that $5. If it goes from 10 to 5, how much have you lost? $5. It's part of trading. If you decide to get out of everything together, you can then take some of those losses and roll them over into your tax world. So if you've made X amount of dollars, you can write some of that stuff off. That's the way it goes. People don't understand that. These people are going off on yesterday, and it was hilarious. This one person, I'm like, who is this? Right? And again, very nice, but when you go look at some of these people who are angry, this person describes himself as a atheist, MGTOW, femboy, communist rapper, anti-Natlist member. I'm also he, him. And I'm like, so you're mad at, of course you're mad at somebody who's been successful. Of course you're mad at somebody who's got something else. And they're like, well, he should take that money and give it to the government. Why do you think that giving the government money, who can't get their crap together, is the answer to everything? Why is it? Well, trickle-down economics, I always say it doesn't work. You want it to work when it comes from the government. Because that's what trickle-down economics is in on the Democratic side. It's money that comes from the government that trickles down. But what are they creating? What are they doing other than taking? They're not doing anything. They're not. They're not creating stuff. They're not making stuff. They're not doing any of that. Will they create jobs? Yeah, they create jobs inside a government the taxpayers pay for. But it's hilarious to see how angry some people get. And I loved his response. I thought it was hilarious. And, the usual, oh, it's good to see a middle-class white boy. I'm like, first of all, if you're talking about when I was a kid, I was a poor class-ass white boy. There was also partially Mexican and now found out partially Jewish. When? And we were super poor. So let's just let you know that. And secondly, what does my color have to do with anything when it comes to Elon Musk? And third, I like him more than I like her. Liawatha. She's a pretendian. We know that. You know that. She's not as bad as that lady that was running the, was it the Native People Affairs up in Morning Star, Bear Feather, whatever her name was, only to find out she's like part Czech and she'd written books. Oh my God, that was the greatest story. That lady, she lied for years. She makes Senator Warren look like, oh, I just got the dates wrong. That I've always said, what is the want to do that? And it's weird because now you've got 23andMe and whatever these things are, and Ancestry.com, and you can go and look and see, and it's kind of neat, and especially if you don't know your family history, I think it's kind of cool. People are like, DNA is going to, I'm like, what? Look, let's be real. Government can do whatever the hell they want. You know it, I know it. So at some point in time, just sit back and say, all right, maybe I'd like to know who my great-grandfather was, because I have no idea. And again, you have to have family members that get into it as well, because otherwise you're just the only one kind of hanging out there. And every week or two, you'll get something. Hey, we found another family member who did this, and they're over here, and you find out a little bit more about yourself. I always thought it was kind of neat because I didn't know a ton about my, family. But it's so funny because this want now for some of these people to be especially protected group of people. And you go and you look at this lady in Canada who's supposed to be, she's running essentially the affairs of the health affairs of the native people. And she has some fake ass name like Morning Bear or Morning Star Bear Feather Liar. She writes a book about raising native children and just so. This want to do this. Even her sister said, yeah, we thought at first we could have been, but we stopped talking about that years ago. And every time she'd bring it up, I just roll my eyes and say, yeah, I don't believe you anymore. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter, your Instagram. Love hearing from every single one of you. It is the holiday season, and it wouldn't be fun if we didn't have great carols on this Woke Wednesday. So let's have some fun with liberals losing their minds and, well, you know, being very COVID-y and Christmassy.
I'm dreaming of a masked Christmas. Pick that up over your nose, where the anti-maskers listen, and there's no political division to get our COVID count so low. Oh, to know.
It's a cult. You're insane. But we're not done. So she's singing about masking up at Christmas, the anti-maskers. This is what we're talking about. This is the insanity out there. This is the people who live in the world of even Anthony said today, he went shopping. So Anthony, if you guys know, producer Anthony has been a vagabond, right? He's gone as Jack Kerouac, has been traveling all over with very Beto O'Rourke. And he's finally come out here to Arizona. And he said yesterday he walked into a store and, the guy had on cologne that you could smell a mile away. And he goes, he's got a mask on. It's like, if you could smell that, why can't you think that, well, I have a feeling if I can smell that, I'm going to be able to potentially get sick from the vid. Because I'm not wearing an N95. I'm not wearing it perfectly because I'm wearing the cheap thing that came in a pack of 1,000 from Amazon that cost 32 cents to make. That doesn't fit my face. But you keep going, lady. We're not done. Masking up with the lips.
Don't wanna see no chin diapers in here. Seriously, on the mouth and the nose. Or get out. Come on. It's not that hard. I'm dreaming of a masked Christmas.
It's awful. It's awful, awful, awful. That's, I don't even know what to say at this point in time. You just look there and you shake your head and you think to yourself, sweet mamma jamma. You're singing about being masked up and complying to the point where you think it's making such a difference. Get out of here. I don't need you. Bah. Little wokeness for you on this Wednesday. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet, text. Love hearing from you. Omaha Steaks. I bet she doesn't eat meat. Guarantee you. She has her, and probably not a fan of the meat. I am a fan of the meat. OmahaSteaks.com has the perfect gift for you. All you have to do is go to OmahaSteaks.com, enter Chad into the search bar, and you can save 50% on the perfect gift. 24 amazing entrees. Oh, tell me more, Chad. Bacon-wrapped fillets. Delicious. They're all. I'm going to tell you what I've eaten from ours. We got the bacon-wrapped fillets, gone. Boneless chicken breast, gone. Omaha steak burgers, 4 of those, gone. Jumbo Franks, gone. Individual scalloped potatoes, gone. Caramel apple tartlets, gone. Signature seasoning, we still have some left. And they also threw 8 5-ounce Omaha steak burgers in free on top of that. All gone. Oh, jeez. We loved it. The kids loved it. It's amazing. Don't worry. Win Christmas this year. Win the holidays this year. Win January, February, March. Win because you got them Omaha Steaks. So every time they go to barbecue, they're like, you know what? That's why our kid's getting in the will and the other kids aren't. Go to omahasteaks.com. Ships right away. When you do, make sure in the search bar you put Chad in. You're going to save big. Get 8 Omaha Steak Burgers free. Win Christmas. Get in that will. omahasteaks.com. Keyword Chad in the search bar. omahasteaks.com. Chad in the search bar. Do it. You'll win. I promise. I promise. And you're going to love it. It's going to taste delicious. The most tasty Christmas ever. Chad Benson Show.
You stink like fear and white male privilege to me.
I do often out myself verbally as a gender. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm proud to be a gender.
Are you stupid? What? Are you kidding me? Not a great way to use your white privilege.
Some people get it, some people don't.
You're listening to The Chad Benson Show.
That's us, kids. The Chad Benson Show. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. The NFL is having some issues with the coronavirus, as well as a few other things going on. Cornell's got an outbreak of the coronavirus. I think they're at level super red. I think is that how we're doing it now, like we used to with the with terrorism, when they had all of the charts. And today we're at like an orange, and then it was like a red, and then it was like green, it was yellow. It was like a Bennington ad.
Cornell University entering a level red alert, shutting down its campus, moving all finals online after this week more than 900 students tested positive for COVID, with university officials saying a very high percentage are Omicron cases.
Oh my God. Some of them have even the sniffles. Chad, that is not very nice. You don't know how bad it is. I mean, everything seems to say that it's really not bad, but you don't know because it's not settled science.
The WHO cautioning even if this variant is more mild than Delta or other previous strains, the sheer volume of cases could overwhelm healthcare systems. Just in the past week, Omicron infections in the U.S. have increased 7-fold. The CDC now meeting to discuss possible scenarios in which the new variant can spread.
Yeah, it's supposed to be far more spready. That's what I'm hearing. It's very, very spready. It's very, very spready is what we're hearing. Isn't that a good thing? I mean, epidemiologists will tell you that it's a good thing. If this thing is less, if it's more transmissible, it's much more mild, then its spreading may not be the worst thing out there if we're able to build up antibodies along the way. You just don't get it, Chad. No, I think that the reality is you don't want to hear. Nobody wants to hear that because some people want to live in perpetual terror. Others want to use the perpetual fear of something to continue to do whatever the hell they're doing in control. And the rest of us are just living our life, enjoying the holidays. I'm excited, too. I'm excited. Charlie's 3, so she's kind of getting into it. She really is. Like, she's very excited. She doesn't really quite get, like totally 100% understand, but she's pretty, she knows Santa because she's got a phone. She picks him up. Jack, he's just excited about, Christmas. He set up his tree last night. And it's interesting because they've got these letters that were published in 1921 for like Santa Claus, for Christmas. It's very interesting. The paper, the St. Augustine Historical Society, published letters starting in early 1900s all the way to 1970. So 100 years ago, this is what kids were asking for. And I love the names of some of these kids. So, Dear Santa Claus, I've been a bad boy this year. Hope you'll forgive me for that. Bring me a blonde doll named Marie and a brunette named Gertrude. Bring a cat, some candy, fruits and nuts. Which, by the way, fruits and nuts make a huge appearance on this. From your friend Howard Milligan. Howard, I got to ask you a question. You're asking for some specific things. He was born way too early. Dear Santa Claus, please give me a big doll dressed up pretty, a go-kart for my dolls, plenty of oranges, nuts, candy. I'm trying to be a good girl. Maud Antoinette Coachman. Ho, ho, ho. But their names are like Margaret, Roscoe. I love some of this. You just look and you're like, what they wanted was great. Mary Louise Lopez. Dear Santa, will you please bring me a doll, a goat cart, a little truck, 2 tables, 2 lead pencils, some nice fruit, and my mama and daddy will have something to enjoy also. Thank you, dear Santa. I remain your little girl, Mary. Eloise, she's 4.5. She lives on Anastasia Island, the big lighthouse. She has no friends to play with because she lives there. So, Santa, could you bring me some toys for Christmas, a kitty cart, a doll carriage, a large doll bed, some, again, nuts and candy and fruit, very popular. But here's the great thing. She's going to hang her stocking in the southeast chimney of our house, and my daddy will keep the big light burning all Christmas night so you can find the right chimney. Don't forget your lonesome friend. Man. This guy, he wanted a cowboy suit, a tool chest, some nuts and candy. Sounds like a date. Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
You know, we're always talking and we're always hear people fighting. I don't like you, I don't like you. By the way, I love everybody, by and large, you know. Good time. Republicans, Democrats. They fight over stuff, right? Like all the time. They think it's important. Like the January 6th thing. Oh my God, you guys hear what they did on January 6th? They're going to hold them in contempt.
He was actually working for the president. He was his chief of staff.
Mark Meadows.
In fact, he had been engaging with the committee. There's a whole series of letters back and forth between his lawyers and the committee members. And of course, he turned over these, some 9,000 documents. So it's hard to say that he was completely uncooperative.
Yeah. So, president's going to go out today and visit in Kentucky. This is like news for cable. Fox doesn't, look at any of these January 6th things. They don't give a rat's ass. They don't. Because their people are all caught up in the. Just like, CNN's trying to avoid the fact that they got a pedo producer, that they had, the Cuomos. I mean, you look over and you got, Don Lemon with Juicy and all that nobody wants to deal with. And let's not even forget the fact that MSNBC went 4 years with Rachel Maddow talking about the next night is the night that he's going to be brought out in handcuffs, and it never was. So nobody ever wants to. The real world goes on. And Biden's going to go see the real world today. He's going to go out into the tornado-ravaged areas in Kentucky. But I saw this yesterday, and I thought it was it's what it's about, being a human being, right? It's what it's about. It's about our fellow man. Right? It's about being a true neighbor. Doesn't mean a neighbor to the person that's, in your neighborhood. It's about being a real human being, a true neighbor, somebody down the street, somebody at church, somebody at work that maybe you can reach out and help. This guy's named Jim Finch. Saw what took place the other day. Lived 30 miles away. Dude doesn't have a lot. You know what he does have? Some hamburgers and some hot dogs and the barbecue. Rolled on up.
What are we cooking?
Hamburgers, chicken, I got sausage, eggs, just a little simple stuff that you can have and not have to worry about making a mess or, grab and go type of food.
Are you from the area?
I was born in Paducah. but I came down here today from Clarksville.
You came out here just to cook for people? Wow. You have a restaurant, or you?
No, sir. It just needed to be done.
That's it. He rolls on over. He didn't film it, by the way. Somebody else did. Was out there looking around. Sets up in the middle of the street. He's got one of those cool barbecues. What are they, smokers, Phil, where they look like they have a little chimney? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, so he's got that. Hamburgers, hot dogs. He's got some water and some soda. He's making some eggs and stuff, and he's handing out people walking by. Here's a hot dog. Here's a sausage. Here's a hamburger. And he's not getting paid for it. And that's what the real world is. People are dealing with stuff on a day-to-day basis. They're dealing with inflation. They're seeing gas prices go through the roof. They're dealing with the politics that is real is never talked about. Politics that gets stuff done, and there is good politicians out there, but you never hear of them. The ones we talk about, the Pelosi's, the AOC's, the McCarthy's, right? The Mitch McConnell's, the Lindsey Graham's, the Ilhan Omar's and the likes. Those people, they're celebrities. It's Spotlight, it's Instagram, it's Twitter. It's never really addressing anything and getting anything done. It's more about being in the limelight than anything else. The real work goes on behind, and it's quiet. The real work goes on behind, and you don't hear about it. The real work goes on behind, and stuff gets done. All this other stuff is noise, right? The fact that people are looking at inflation right now and seeing prices go through the roof, and they're struggling on a day-to-day basis, wondering what in God's name is going to happen next month, because over the month to month, we've seen inflation rise through the roof, and we keep, being told, oh, don't worry, it's only temporary. It's only temporary.
Supply chain problems have made it difficult for producers to meet strong demand. Increases in energy prices and rents are also pushing inflation upward. Overall inflation is running well above our 2% longer run goal, with the PCE price index up 5% over the 12 months ending in October. Most forecasters, including at the Fed, continue to expect that inflation will move down significantly over the next year as supply and demand imbalances abate. But it now appears that factors pushing inflation upward will linger well into next year.
Yeah, of course it is. We knew that. But we were told something different. We knew that. But we were told many other different things. We knew these things. That's what people are talking about. That's what people are trying to deal with. That's what people are trying to deal with on a daily basis. The other stuff. Well, Chad, isn't January 6th important? The revolution, or whatever the coup was, that wasn't a coup or an insurrection. It was an insurrection by about 12 people who thought they were going to do something. 95% of those people were in the back of the line wandering in, having no idea, taking pictures. Those people aren't criminals. They're idiots. There's a different story. The ringleader, the guy dressed up like, I don't know, Buffalo Bill meets a Viking, that guy. The cop's like, hey, can you guys leave now? Yeah, okay. His defense was, I saved some muffins. The average person is not waking up talking about that. They're talking about the cost of food. They're talking about the cost of gas. They're talking about when are we going to have some true normalcy where we don't have to worry about the government coming down and saying, we're going to have to work from home for the next 8 months. All Christmas bonuses are canceled, and you have to wash your hands 47,000 times. And if you want to work here, we're going to need you to have 728 shots. Oh, by the way, your kids are going to have to learn from Zoom, but it's only 1 hour a week because the teachers are tired. It's not very nice, Chad. Being honest. People are sick of it. They're sick of the mandates. Did you see that? 75% of businesses that fall into the mandate category have said if there wasn't a mandate, they're not going to mandate any. They're not. Some are going in a different direction. Case in point, Kroger.
This is a significant decision by one of the largest employers in the U.S. with 500,000 workers. Kroger announcing it will pull paid emergency COVID leave for unvaccinated employees and will add a $50 monthly insurance surcharge for salaried associates who are unvaccinated.
Would you pay $50 and not wear a mask? I shouldn't have to pay anything. I know, but still. Would you think about it if they came to you and say, look, we're going to let everybody $50 and you don't have to wear a mask? That's not constitutional, chat. So that's what Kroger's doing. People just want to be over it. All right? They want to be able to send their kids to school knowing that school's going to be there and not be closed down because the teachers are stressed or because kids apparently don't know how to act around each other anymore or because, it's just there was one kid in third grade who wasn't in class, was on vacation, apparently has COVID, so everybody can't come to school. They want to be able to go to work and know that work's there. Not that you're going to go home and do some work, but not all of it because you can't, and then you're worried about your job. We're frustrated. People are over being in a holding pattern. It's time to move on. I got to say, Gayle King asked a question that very few people probably ask Rachel Walensky. And she gave an answer that we've been talking about since, probably out of this 24 months as we head into it, nightmare that we've been talking about for well over 16, 18 months. It's a word, endemic.
Shouldn't the messaging be, though, Rochelle, if we're going into year two, people think we're waiting for you to sound the trumpet and say it's all clear. We're not really going to get an all clear, are we? We just have to face the fact that we're going to have to live with this. True?
I think that that's probably true. But what I would say is we have a lot of control and power to do that as we come together, as we get vaccinated, as we do those prevention things that work to protect one another. We can bring down the amount of disease in this country and get much faster to that place.
Yeah. Can we really? No. Omicron's everywhere. People are worried about, what's this new thing? You go and you look and like, did you guys hear Cornell's got like 9,000 gazillion cases? Well, what's that supposed to mean? I don't know. It's supposed to mean they've got a bunch of cases, a bunch of young kids. Were they all vaccinated? Well, they were all vaccinated. So you want me to go out and get a vaccine that isn't going to stop something that I can potentially still give to other people, or I could lose my job, even though I've got a vaccine. Now the vaccine that I've got isn't good enough, so I have to go get more vaccines. People want GD transparency. It shouldn't be that hard. Get out of everybody's way. Say, here is what we're looking for, guys. Try to follow these rules the best we can. Try not to be an a-hole to your neighbor. Let's not make this political, and let's all get on with our lives. We can't do that. We can't. When we should be more like the other guy, which is a guy who shows up out there in Kentucky with nothing to give outside of, I have a barbecue and I've got some food. Some people are hungry. Let me help them out. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. MyPillow has deals galore. So they wanted to make sure that they had everything they needed for the holiday season. There's still time to get great holiday gifts. And so they went out and they pre-purchased a lot of stuff and materials they knew they were going to need to make the MyPillows. They got all the stuff from the Long Staple Cotton, from the Giza Dream Sheets, towels, etc., etc. The biggest deals they've ever had and the cheapest prices they've ever had. Many things are 50 and 60% off. You go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code Benson, you're going to save big. You can get a 60-day money-back guarantee, a 10-year warranty. And like I said, they've got the slippers. They've got them in stock. They're great. They're amazing. Everything's made right here in the United States of America, so there's no worry about, is the supply chain going to work? Don't worry about that. Giza Dream Sheets. They've got cardigans. They've got the My Slippers, the towels, the mattress toppers, and yes, the MyPillow, the cheapest it's ever been. Take advantage of it now. Great gifts. Go to MyPillow.com. Use the promo code Benson. MyPillow.com. Promo code Benson. Chad Benson Show.
I usually don't get into politics. As an ordinary suburban housewife, I feel a little disrespected. I teach my children not to name call.
You are a blabbermouth! A blabbermouth!
Come on, man.
Guys, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum?
Chad Benson.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Now it's time to find out what's trending. What's trending? Yeah, what does that mean? I mean something, right? Like it's trending on the old internet. What's trending? Let us take a peek and see what's trending. Start over in the magical world of Google today. Spider-Man No Way Home. Can this save the theater world? We shall see. I don't think it can. I think part of the theater world not being saved either is the insanity of coronavirus. What's open, what's not open. They're not releasing movies the way they used to, but we'll see. Steph Curry last night sets an NBA career record for 3 points. The celebration that went on, and the guy's still got like 8-10 years in him. And I'm just like, that seems a bit much. That's just me, though. That's just me. Cornell University shuts down its Ithaca campus. Significant signs of the virus. Some 900 kids, I guess, are sick with it. Some of them may have Omicron. Finally, some good news for OJ. He's completely free. Parole ends in Nevada. Now OJ's free to move about the cabin and stuff. Biden's youngsters are mad at him. He's ended student loan relief. We'll touch on that. Some people are pissed. Oh, we're angry. We're angry. Angry. CTE, we touched on it yesterday. And we're going to touch on it again a little bit later, too. Former San Francisco 49er cornerback Philip Adams, who killed 6 people and himself earlier this year when his family wanted his brain tested, and man, was it a hot mess. And it mirrored almost identical to that of Aaron Hernandez. There's something to it. I would have to say, based on some of the evidence, yes. Does it affect everybody the same? Probably not, but there's got to be something to it. Head on over to Twitter where everybody's fighting because that's what we do. Elon Musk, people are mad at him because he's Elon. Aw. Senator Karen is trending because Elon Musk called her Senator Karen. Sean Payton's trending because I have no idea. At first I thought, this can't be real. There's a movie trailer that came out yesterday called Home Team, based on the true story of New Orleans Saints Sean Payton in the year that he was suspended because of the whole Bounty Gate situation. Played by Kevin James, going home to help his kids' football team. I have to be honest with you. At first I thought I was waiting for the funny, but when Kevin James was playing Sean Payton, I thought, excuse me? This is real? If you've not seen the trailer, it's called Home Team. You should check it out. It's not the trailer of the year, though, and which I can't wait for, which is the new Nicolas Cage movie. I tweeted about it yesterday, but it is truly... I love Nick Cage because, he's fearless. Literally will do any movie ever. But his new movie's called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where he plays Nick Cage. And so he plays himself, and a guy wants to meet him, is going to pay him $1 million. So he says, okay. And he goes over, and it's just, the rest of it's just a movie with Nick Cage playing Nick Cage. And I'm thinking to myself, that is hilarious. Cheesecake Factory. We talk about that. People are arrested outside the Cheesecake Factory. What? Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
That is me, you or you. Hope you are doing well. Last week of our little dog and pony show till next year. Crazy year it's been, right? We're still fighting the coronavirus. Still fighting each other over the coronavirus. That's not changed. We get new warnings all the time about something.
The WHO cautioning even if this variant is more mild than Delta or other previous strains, the sheer volume of cases could overwhelm healthcare systems. Just in the past week, Omicron infections in the U.S. have increased sevenfold. The CDC now meeting to discuss possible scenarios in which the new variant can spread.
Oh, possible scenarios. It makes up 3% here in the U.S., apparently. 3%. Is it more mild? Seems to be that way, but again, we want to caution you by terrifying the hell out of you. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure that you know. Earlier today, people at the Cheesecake Factory in New York were arrested because they went in there without a mask, and you can't do that. What are you thinking? A group of 30-plus anti-vaxxers claiming they're doing a sit-in refused to check in at the host stand, skipped the waiting customers, and sat themselves across multiple tables in a Cheesecake Factory. They argued. Cops arrested them. This is the absurdity of what we have going on right now. This is the absurdity. We are fighting over stuff that is so ridiculous. I do love the Cheesecake Factory. I'm not going to lie to you. I do love the Cheesecake Factory. You love it. I love it. Come on now. All that being said, what are we doing? Not living our lives. What should we be doing? Living our lives. Endemic, not pandemic. Time to live your life. You could get the flu. You can get a bad cold. Aaron, who is our front desk person here, right? The what do they call it? The person of first impressions. She was out for 8 days. Got a cold. Went into her chest. I've heard more people this year say the cold is awful. Flu has been bad. There's a stomach thing going around. People want to live their lives. Well, Chad, but you got to understand it's not about you. It's about other people. Well, you could give me the flu. I could give you a cold. Both of those to the wrong person could be really bad. But now that we have things that seem to be ready to roll out that will be working, we know that if you're vaccinated, the chances of you getting very, very sick are virtually nil. And the unvaccinated getting very, very sick, again, is a small number comparatively in the overall scheme of things. We have 800,000 deaths, is what they're saying, contributed to COVID. Out of that, probably 60,000 are from COVID alone. The rest were the final straw that pushed somebody over. Elderly people. So you start breaking it down, what's out there. We stopped the economy for all this stuff. We're seeing inflation rise. We've had a nightmare when it comes to our immigration, right? Energy prices are through the roof. It's the holiday season. People are still worried about all kinds of crap. When it comes to just the day-to-day workings of going to work, not going to work, should I, can I, are we going to stop things down? It's time to move on from this. But some people won't allow that to happen because for whatever reason, this to them is something that they can hold on to and continue to push. It's sad. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Does that get put down on, like, when you get arrested? Say you were arrested at the Cheesecake Factory. That's like a comedy bit. Dude, you guys hear? Yeah. You got arrested at the Cheesecake. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they took him down right there. He was at the factory. Cheesecake Factory. That is crazy. Oh. It is Woke Wednesday. We love to be woke. We're going to do some woke stuff here in a little bit. Leah Thomas is a swimmer from Penn. If you haven't followed this story, the battle that goes on out there of women, trans women in sports, things of that nature. If you participate in that sport, it's a big deal to you. And now that apparently 1 in 1.3 people in America are apparently trans, according to whatever. You're watching this happen more and more. You're watching this happen more and more, which is you're getting people who identified as guys, and sometimes they go and they have the full aftermarket reset, right? So they're like, yeah, I want new headlights. I want to get rid of this fender. They do the full thing. Want a new paint job, right? So you're seeing this more and more, and people are talking about it. This is the culture war that's going on. So Penn has a swimmer, and she, as she wants to be referred to, Leah, I'll just call her Leah as her name, she is destroying everything in her path. It's not even fair. And while they are winning, the reality is people now inside of Penn swimming is like, this isn't fun. We're not having fun. Our coach wants to win so bad, but this isn't fair. And if you look at Leah Thomas, I'm going to be honest. I'm not trying to be mean. I know it takes a while, but here's just some honesty. You're not fooling anybody. You're not. Came out, though, Leah, and talked about the fact that, in this woke world, this is what is okay to happen. Hold on,
I started my transition period in May of 2019. Started hormone replacement therapy, a combination of estrogen and testosterone blockers, which basically gives you female puberty, muscle loss, facial changes, all that. After I'd completed 1 year of testosterone suppression following the NCAA guidelines, I submitted all of hormone tests and sent all that into the NCAA. They approved everything, and I was clear to compete on the women's team.
If I wouldn't have told you her name is Leah, you would have said, that's dude. Now, the IOC guidelines, again, it's all about inclusion. Even women on her team are not thrilled by this because they're not just losing, by the way. When you see some of the races, it is, as they would say in the sports world, you're getting boat raced. She won one race by 38 seconds. In swimming, inside of a pool, that's a big deal. That's a lot of distance. A lot of distance.
The IOC recently released a new set of guidelines for inclusion on transgender and intersex athletes. And I think the guidelines they set forward are very good and do a very good job of promoting inclusivity while keeping competitional integrity going.
Yeah. And some of the, and here's the thing. This is that craziness we talked about yesterday, right? We were talking about that professor at Fordham who was let go because heaven forbid you make a mistake in this woke world. And he got there was two black kids, BIPOC, not Tupac, but BIPOC, and said they got their names mixed up. And then he flipped out later on. He wrote like a 9-page diatribe about how sorry he was and also how, and how great he was and blah, 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 blah. And it is insane, right, that people are afraid. But now you're finding more people, they won't come on and they won't talk about it because even though they feel that way, they're not saying things because they're afraid that they're going to be shunned. They're afraid that they're going to be kicked out of school. Hey, I don't feel it's fair that this person here who was male 2 years ago, and even though has done the testosterone blockers and taken estrogen, has developed as a man, has all these clear advantages, and swims like a missile, that no matter what we do, we're not going to beat them. And it's not based on this person working harder or any of that stuff. You can't say that. One person said, pretty much everyone individually has spoken to our coaches about not liking this. Our coach just really likes winning. It's like most coaches. I think secretly everyone just knows it's wrong. When the whole team is together, we have to be like, oh my gosh, Leah, that's great. You're amazing. But it's fake. Ooh. Other teammates said Penn swimmers are angry and they're upset. Yeah. One person said, I feel discouraged because no matter how much I work and I put into it, I know we're going to lose. That person. Again, I'm not trying to be mean. One person who's a rival said this. Looked over at the person and that had she crushed and said, man, that was easy. I was just cruising. Now, at the end of the day, will she win everything? Probably not. Could she? It's possible. She's 2 seconds behind Missy Franklin and about 10 seconds behind Ledecky when it comes to their perspective races, except for one thing. They're both Olympic gold medalists. So that's what it takes. So imagine if you're the average person who's not an Olympic gold medalist. And if he's just or she's just cruising, what happens if don't want to cruise anymore and want to kick it in the high gear? Well, Chad, it's about inclusivity. I thought it was about fairness. I don't know. At this point, we don't know anymore. We are so confused with all the crap that we spew, we don't know anymore. Not trying to be anything other than honest. My daughter was playing in a sport where other kids who were same-sex born and assigned at birth or whatever the crap that you want to spew out there that goes against actual nature. If that person and those kids beat her, beat Jack, no problem. But if along comes Tommy, who is now Tanya, and you can tell that it's essentially nowhere near going to be fair, yeah, I'd be a little pissed. As a parent, saying, look, I get that you believe this and that's what you identify as, but at the same time, these kids have feelings too. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. This is what happens when you allow insanity to run things. I'm not saying this person's insane. I'm just talking about the insanity of, well, it's got to be inclusive. It's got to be fair. It's got to be all of these things. And, you know, Leah's been on blockers. Leah was already somebody who had medaled on the men's team and been all conference. Tell me that's fair. If it's all fair, then why don't we just have them swim against each other? Men and women, no more separating the sports. There's no WNBA. There's no NBA. There's just professional basketball. There's just the Premier League. There's no women's hockey league. There's just the NHL. There you go. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program, Calibrate. It's amazing. So somebody asked me yesterday, you're on Cal. I said, yes, I am doing it. The program's simple and easy. And it fits into my schedule, which is super busy. I don't want to do, I've tried, you know, I've had locally here, they've tried to do some fad diets with me. I just don't do that. I can't, like, here's, you know, okay, you can eat once every 22 hours and you get a, you know, piece of toast, but it's got to be with Himalaya salt on it. And, you know, you've got to look at the sun with your eyes closed while you do it. You got to hop in a circle and take these 7,500 pills at the right time, drink warm water. And that's insane. Calibrate makes everything easy. It works. Comprehensive doctor-guided metabolic reset. So what happens is your body resets at the weight that's great for your body, not that's what's comfortable for you right now. So, and it's simple and easy. It's FDA-approved medication, and the lifestyle changes are simple, right? You get one-on-one coaching, you get in-app tracking community, and you get a video doctor visit. Calibrate's earliest members lost 14%. So you make small lifestyle changes with FDA-approved medication, and you watch what happens. And for busy lifestyles, simple for me. I couldn't do so much of this other wackiness because I work 20 hours a day. I need energy. I'm always on. Try Calibrate. Get $50 off right now. Promo code CHAD at joincalibrate.com. It will be the easiest and best thing you've ever done for yourself. Treat yourself. $50 off the 1-year metabolic reset when you use CHAD. That's promo code CHAD at joincalibrate.com. Joincalibrate.com. Promo code CHAD. Chad Benson Show.
Hashtag me too. Hashtag immigration reforms. Hashtag help. I'm trapped in a hashtag factory and I can't get out. The Chad Benson Show.
The Rolling Stones rolling in the cash, topping Pulsar's list of highest-grossing tours worldwide in 2021. In just 12 shows, the band took in $115.5 million. This is the group lost its drummer of almost 60 years, Charlie Watts. Second on the money list is Harry Styles with $86.7 million, though Styles actually sold 150,000 more tickets than the Stones. The Hella Mega Tour featuring Green Day, Weezer, and Fall Out Boy was third. The Eagles and Dead & Company round out the top 5.
Money be made. That's where they make all their money because nobody buys albums anymore like they used to. And that was in a world where we're still coronavirus weird. I just got a notification on my phone. I don't know if you've ever got one of these, Phil or Anthony. COVID-19 exposure notification is available. Your phone can tell if you may have been exposed to COVID-19 based on the official guidelines of your health department. I'm going to pass on that. What the hell is this? This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is where it starts. Chad, you need to really stop it. No, I don't need to stop it. This is the insanity of what we have going on now. Can we just say enough? Somebody besides me and a few other people out there. So you're anti-vax? No, I'm pro getting the shot. Even though it was sold to us as the miracle. It does good work. Pro getting the shot. I am anti-pandemic. Pro-freedom. My goodness me. But now my phone wants to tell me when I've been exposed? It's everywhere. How about that? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from all of you. The good, the bad, the funny. Let it rip, kids. Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
It's Wednesday. We get you over the hump. It's what we do. A little wokeness we have coming up here. I promise you that, kids. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But first, the real news, the scary news. Everybody, everyone had.
Cornell University entering a level red alert, shutting down its campus, moving all finals online after this week more than 900 students tested positive for COVID, with university officials saying a very high percentage are Omicron cases.
What do we do? I don't know. What are we supposed to do? Deal with it. They're young. They're going to be fine. But, Chad, it's Omicron. It's the Cron. That's what I just call it now. The Cron is here. Is it like the Wrath of Cron? I got 100 of them, kids. You guys ready for them? Nothing else you do. Just get over it. But the fear factor that's out there, the painting the picture, we're going to have a bunch of messed up kids. We are. I'm telling you, we've already got a group of kids that is terrified of everything. We've got a group of kids that are freaked out about anything that they feel injure them, even if it wasn't meant for them, even if it's true. Where people like, you should really trigger me on that. I need to know what's going on. You said something the other day. What was I reading? A professor in one of the curriculums said Wuhan virus. It wasn't changed or something in the curriculum. The kids are like, we can't go to class. I'm like, either you guys are brilliant because you're like, let's take this crap and just run with it, or you're the weakest group of human beings on the planet. I can't go to class. Why? Somebody used the word Wuhan in discussing the virus. Armstrong and Getty, I love those guys. They call it the Chinese bat virus. Again, what have you done? You called it, you said Chinese. It's racist. I can't. I've been triggered. Get my inhaler. The little inhaler. Helps with triggering. It's patchouli. Unicorn farts. Oh, geez, grease. I don't know what to say anymore. We're at level red. That goes back. That harkens to the day of 9/11. It harkens to the day of 9/11. We had the threat assessment. Used to be the DEF cons. I thought, well, you knew what that was, right? Because that feels like it's got DEF and con in it. That's like, that feels like, oh, it's real. It's DEF con. No. But we got to make sure that we know that, everybody's safe. Well, Chad, don't you want people safe? Of course I do, but I want people to live their life. I want to be able to go to places, not go, that's right. On this side of the block, I have to wear a mask. But on that side of the block, I don't. Unless, of course, you're in states where they're like, we have to reimpose indoor masking policies based on no signs. What about Santa Claus? There do's and don'ts with him?
The big guy gearing up to deliver lots of presents in a week and a half. But how do you tell Santa what you want if your mom and dad and Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital Dr. Gina Robinson don't think it's a good idea?
Going out to see Santa, traditionally you think of those long lines where you might be standing in line for 30, 45 minutes, depending on which way you go. We really want to avoid situations like that right now.
Her advice, find out if Santa is taking requests outside. That's safer. Safest of all, maybe write Santa a letter this year. Macy's also has an email address for him.
It's embarrassing. You can't sit on Santa's lap. Why? Because he's triple vaxxed? No, because he's triple vaxxed. By the way, if you're a Santa, you know this. I for those of you guys don't know, I'll play Santa Claus for stuff, help the kids out, do stuff like that. I love doing it. Right? I'm not the real Claus. I'd like to say I'm a pretty good, cheap imitation of him. But, and I got my white beard and everything. And then after the holidays, I'll shave my beard down because I love doing it. But Santa's, he's okay. He's going to be fine. But the fact that you're like, you guys, I'm from the Cleveland Clinic, and I don't think you should see Thaddy this year. What do you mean I can't see Thaddy? Well, you could get sick, but I want to see Thaddy. But you could get sick. No, but I want to see Santa Claus. Mom, why can't I see Santa Claus? Because somebody from the Cleveland Clinic said you shouldn't. Because you're in no danger of getting this thing and dying. And Santa Claus has probably been quadruple vaxxed. And wouldn't be doing this otherwise. Oh, jeez. These kids are going to be a hot mess. A hot, hot mess. And I look around and I look at all you governors and all you bureaucrats in the health offices and all you mayors who was like, what we should do is not let anybody see Santa Claus. The kids can't go to school but 1 hour a day on Zoom because the teachers are going to be upset. Because they're very upset. It's a trying year for them. It's a trying year for everybody. But telling kids, you know what? The person at the Cleveland, explain that to your 5-year-old. Dad, are we going to see Santa? Well, a lady at the Cleveland Clinic says you can't. What? Oh, my God. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. This is the dumbest thing of dumb things. How long is this going to be here? CDC Director Walensky.
Shouldn't the messaging be, though, Rochelle, if we're going into year 2, people think we're waiting for you to sound the trumpet and say it's all clear. We're not really going to get an all clear, are we? We just have to face the fact that we're going to have to live with this. True?
I think that that's probably true. But what I would say is we have a lot of control and power to do that as we come together, as we get vaccinated, as we do those prevention things that work to protect one another. We can bring down the amount of disease in this country and get much faster to that place.
Can we? Can we really? Yes. Here's the deal, right? I paint the picture. It's simple. Do your homework. It's not that hard. And by the way, look somewhere real. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be terrified of this. Live above it. We have been saying for 18 months, live with this thing, through this thing, around this thing, and eventually above this thing. That's what we need to do. We don't need to be telling kids you can't see Santa Claus because a person at the Cleveland Clinic said that there is something out there that 99.8% of people survive. That's no. Time to get over the crap. Time to put the BS away. Time for us to stand up and say, all right, you know, at some point we've had enough. You're not being transparent. The lies that you tell, the goalposts that you move, the BS, we've had enough. We've had enough. I'm not saying go out and riot. Get a shot. Are they perfect? No. Do they work? Yeah. By the way, the flu shot's not perfect. It's not. It's kind of like a 50-50 thing, the flu shot every year. Some years it's like 43% effective from stopping you getting it. But it's usually 100% effective in making sure that if you do catch it, that you're going to be fine and handle it with no ease. We've got now all this other crap that's going to be available to us. All these pills, all of this other stuff that's going to be available to us that's a treatment. We're going to be good. But this generation of kids that have lost 2 years, that have been set back in their growth in education, and while the Democrats screen, and let's be real, a majority of this is the Democrats. A majority of this is these blue states who've overdone the insanity, continue to want to hold on to this coronavirus insane, like never let it go pandemic, who have pushed kids back. The ones who scream about, I care about minority kids and about this and I care about that. Guess what? Who do you think's suffering? Because the upper middle class, they'll be fine. Their kids will get tutors. They'll do all that stuff. A lot of the other kids, these 18 to 20 months, that's lost. And you're not getting that back. And that set them behind the 8 ball. That set them way behind the 8 ball. Some places now in states like, we're going to have to close the school. God. New mask. It's growing again. There's a winter surge. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. CDC has issued a winter warning. Cold is cold. Omicron spreading rapidly in the U.S. could bring punishing wave as soon as January. That's right. You go get your shot. Get a booster if you need to. You got one a couple weeks ago, months ago, you're going to be fine. I don't see the problem here. The problem is we have dumbasses who run things. That's the problem. Who don't use common sense, who can't look around and read a room. That's what we have. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. MyPillow has amazing deals right now. So 24/7, 365, MyPillow's working. And this year, doesn't slow them down. There is no supply chain issues. They have all of the stuff. So whatever the stuff is, they got it. The MyPillow, the mattress topper. They've got cardigans. They've got the amazing slippers. They got the Giza Dream Sheets. They got everything at deep, deep discounts with zero issues when it comes to supply chain. So if you want it, you got it. So go to MyPillow.com. Use that promo code Benson. 60-day money-back guarantee, 1-year warranty. The MyPillow is at the cheapest it's ever been. Deepest discount ever. Save big. Get yourself a MyPillow. You will not be disappointed. And the mattress topper is awesome. The sheets make great, incredible presents, and so do the slippers. Check everything out. Go to MyPillow.com. Use the promo code Benson. MyPillow.com. Promo code Benson. Chad Benson Show.
Boys, give me a bowl of chili with plenty of peppers.
One Mexican heartburn. Why don't you mugs grow up?
The Chad Benson Show, where independent, a la carte thinkers have a seat at the table and a voice in the dialogue.
I'll have what she's having.
This is Chad Benson.
That's me. So, Jen Psaki, you got this whole thing. First of all, I'm just saying this about Jen Psaki. She does a damn good job. You don't have to like what she says. She spins all day. She don't take much. McEnany and her were pretty damn good, right? Sarah Huckabee Sanders, no. I love, we all love Old Spicy there, Sean. But he was that was bad. That was bad. But she does a good job. She spins, man. She's a spin as it gets. And they were talking about the BBB, the Build Back Better. So, and Ducey, right? Like everybody gets mad at Ducey from Fox, right? Because he asked questions. Now, nobody ever said anything about Jim Acosta, who not only asks questions, he's like flexing as he does it because he wants to be a part of something all the time. Even, but Ducey asks questions. It's funny because she spins, she does her thing, but Brian Stelter, useless, sour lemon, talked about why are we even asking questions? Why don't let them ask questions?
Why does Jen Psaki even continue to call on Fox in the briefing room? And I mean, they've been very courteous and I should say, kind, because if your network is promoting BS and lies about what is actually happening in the country, why should they even be able to take part in a legitimate press briefing, in legitimate journalism?
But today at the briefing, what did Fox ask about? The Christmas tree being set ablaze. No one thinks that's the top 10 story in America today, except at Fox News. What we have to do, I think, is recognize it for what it is. Fox has changed dramatically.
My God. They asked one question. By the way, that question was regarding all of the crime that's going on nationwide. Do you think there's something to the fact that in some of these big cities, they have no bail? They're like, screw it. You don't need to wait in jail. Ugh. The fact that, a guy burned down a Christmas tree, then they let him out. But you never brought up the fact that guy also went to the Ghislaine Maxwell case, dropped trow in front of all the female reporters. Nothing. I don't know why we hadn't let him ask questions. And you guys are so full of crap, it's amazing. You've gotten just about everything wrong. Plus, you had a guy that was your biggest star who was so awful anyways. And he was helping his brother, who was playing grab ass with several women while killing old people, winning Emmys, and having now to give back his money for his great leadership. You sound awesome. How about that other producer you have, pedo guy. Yeah. So does Ducey do what Acosta did? No. This is what happened yesterday with the Build Back Better question.
So the president says that the Build Back Better is not going to add a penny to the deficit. The CBO has this new score where they assume that social programs are going to be made permanent, and in that case it would add almost $3 trillion. So does that mean that President Biden will commit that these programs are not going to be made permanent?
Well, first of all, what you're talking about here is a fake CBO score that is not based on the actual bill that anybody is voting on.
Yeah. We're going to talk more about this. So it's a fake score of a fake bill that nobody's voting on because the bill in hand has social programs that in theory are supposed to sunset. We will discuss that. Plus, we got some wokeness coming your way. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, the Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Before we so rudely interrupted, we heard the amazing, incredible, powerful Brian Stelter and Don Sour Lemon talk about, what do they call on Fox? They just lie about stuff. And I'm like, okay, settle down. How about all of you guys lie? And how about Ducey's the only one that asked her a question that seems to be somewhat real, outside of maybe some foreign press people that are there. How about that? So he asked her about the Build Back Better.
So the president says that the Build Back Better is not going to add a penny to the deficit. The CBO has this new score where they assume that social programs are going to be made permanent, and in that case it would add almost $3 trillion. So does that mean that President Biden will commit that these programs are not going to be made permanent?
Well, first of all, what you're talking about here is a fake CBO score that is not based on the actual bill that anybody is voting on.
Okay, so it's not based on any bill that's being voted on. Okay. All right. So it's a fake score on a fake bill. That's where she's going with that. She's going to explain to us why. But I'll give you a quick rundown on this. There's a bill out there, plenty of them. Go through this through many times. They put the CBO together. Congressional Budget Office. They're non-partisan. They come in and they go, let's take a look at this, right? We're looking at this just as this is what we think may happen. This is what we think might take place. This is what we think the economy or whatever's going to happen, the amount of taxes you're going to bring in. This is what we think will actually take place. You're saying you're not going to be able to raise taxes, on anybody, but this group here, they may come out and say, no, that's not true based on these numbers. So in the fake bill, the stuff lives forever. So entitlement in the Build Back Better program lives forever in the fake bill. In the bill that she's talking about, which is the bill that's out there, they don't live forever. So while she talks, just swirl around your mind all of the entitlement programs that just went away, they sunsetted.
This was a request by Senator Graham to score a bill that is not currently being debated. That is his prerogative to do.
And by the way, I think that was a swipe at Senator Graham, right? Just letting you guys know that, because we all know about Senator Graham.
That is his prerogative to do. But what our focus is on the existing bill that will lower the deficit, that will also, over an additional 10 years, pay for the $2 trillion tax cuts that Republicans didn't pay for.
But she would not go on the record and say that those things were going to go away, which means they're going to be permanent. And based on Lindsey Graham, based on Lindsey Graham's fake not being voted on bill or discussed bill that will eventually be the bill, because as we all know, if it does pass, that none of these things are going to sunset, then no, it will actually add $3 trillion to the deficit. It will not decrease the deficit. And on top of that, once you get past a certain situation here, taxes will go up across the board, not just on one specific group. So the bill that you're talking about, that would be true, Jen Psaki, if these things were going to sunset. But as we all know, they're not going to, because nothing goes away. None of these things are temporary. Hell, we're still wearing masks 20 months into the 15 days of stopping the spread BS. So none of these things go away. When's the last time you saw anything? When's the last time the government's like, we've given up on spending money over here on the all of this, just all this crap when it comes to, this program or the when it comes to all these war programs and all the military, we're stopping any of those. We're not going to spend. They never stop because they love to spend money. And in government, if you're given money and you don't spend it, when you go to get more, they'll tell you, well, you don't need all of this. So you find ways to spend it. And while programs may have disappeared, usually what happens is they get folded into another program that's even bigger. So to answer her question in a real way, that thing, he's totally right. That CBO is totally right. And they're usually wrongish. Anyways. I love when government comes out and they're like, all right, based on our estimates, this is what's going to happen. It's always based on the best case scenario in the history of the world for that thing. That's what it's based upon. If everybody pays every ounce of tax, some people give even extra amounts of money. Several million people decide they no longer want to take Social Security. We win the lottery. We find a giant diamond, a map with gold. Then yes, it's totally going to work. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you. I do. It is the holiday season. We are the gift that keeps on giving for our Woke Wednesday. By the way, the Stop Woke Act is being brought out today in Florida. DeSantis talking about parents, kids. They want to stop woke.
Parents' Bill of Rights. You can have certain things, and sometimes the school districts don't always follow it. And so we are going to be including in this legislation giving parents a private right of action to be able to enforce the prohibition on CRT, and they get to recover attorney's fees when they prevail, which is very important. Woo! And yes, there will be a fortified ability for the State Department of Education to hold people accountable, but honestly, the parents know best what's going on, and they're in the best position to be able to do it. And here's the thing.
Okay.
A lot of times these people will fear lawsuits more than a fine from the State Department of Education, because when you do a lawsuit, you get discovery.
Oh, get discovery. And in discovery, what happens? So when you start talking to people, and people inside of there start spilling the beans. So they're going to stop woke in Florida. Florida's going to stop woke. Could it be true? Will it be true? I don't know. I doubt it. You can't stop woke. Woke's been unleashed. Woke's here for Christmas. Woke's insane, and we all know that. If you don't know what woke is, basically you're being awakened to the social injustices of the world. You're woken up, kids. What a better way to say woke on this holiday season than have some horrible singer sing about coronavirus and, yes, that mask.
I'm dreaming of a masked Christmas. Pick that up over your nose, where the anti-maskers listen, and there's no political division to get our COVID count so low. Oh, to know.
Oh, God. That's awful. It's not over, though. She's singing about masking up. She's that into the coronavirus. She's that into the she probably has 14 booster shots. And she's still singing about masking up. She's still in that mindset that I need you to do what they say because I've bought all of what it is. She's not done. I'll let her finish. You're welcome.
Don't wanna see no chin diapers in here. Seriously, on the mouth and the nose. Or get out. Come on. It's not that hard. I'm dreaming of a masked Christmas.
Oh, God. That's what you get, kids. That's the insanity of what you get. So bought into the BS. So bought into the mask. Well, Chad, masks work. The right mask works as long as you have the right mask at every situation. As long as you have the right mask and you wear it correctly, it does. Can a mask stop something at probably 10%, 15%? Maybe. It's possible. But does it stop it for real? No. No. Erin, who's our front desk first impressions leader, every day, she loves her perfume. And she always smells great. I have to put my Kabuki Theater mask on when I walk out there to cross the hallway. The minute I open my door, take a deep breath, I can smell. So if the droplets and the stuff that's supposed to permeate through the air and float around, could I not probably say that, first of all, it doesn't go around my nose very well or cover the side of my face? Could I not argue that maybe it doesn't work great? But you keep singing about it, kids. Again, get your shot and get on with your life. Get healthy. We can all do that. And don't be an idiot. Shouldn't be that hard, but we make it hard. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. Chad Benson Show.
Deep states? No. Deep doo-doo? Yeah. The Chad Benson Show.
It's interesting. We're talking about the COVID. California's implementing their new, everyone's got to wear a mask indoors. Apparently, they've exempted San Francisco from it. This is what I'm talking about. Based on what? Based on the fact that everybody that seems the new Omicron, which you're all terrified, that they're telling everybody we should be terrified of, that the vaccine itself seems to be pretty useless in stopping it. But San Francisco's getting a pass. 86% of eligible San Francisco residents have received at least one vaccine dose. The perfect example, based on not reality. There's nothing about that's real. So they've got at least one vaccine dose. 86% of people have one vaccine dose. When they're telling us that 2 probably isn't good enough, you'll have to get a booster. So based on those calculations of scientific stupidity, we've decided to arbitrarily say you guys are excused. It makes no sense, and this is why people get frustrated. This is why people say we've had enough. This is why. Not that you don't take it serious. It's serious. So's the flu. So's a lot of other things. You do what's best for you. That's the way it should be. It's insane. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Let's have some fun with our good friend Elon Musk, who yesterday got into a little tiff with Senator Karen, as he referred to her, which I thought was hilarious. Elizabeth Warren, let's change the rigged tax code so that the person of the year will actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else. Elon Musk tweets back, you remind me of when I was a kid. My friend's angry mom would just randomly yell at everyone for no reason. Please don't call the manager on me, Senator Karen, which I think is funny. I think it's funny. Sorry. People, of course, freak out. One person says, that's not funny. Musk is a freeloader who built his company off tax subsidies but doesn't want to pay taxes and thinks giving to charity is suckers. By the way, he has pledged to give half of his wealth away. And no matter what he gives, it'll never be enough unless he gives it all. And why does he have to? It's like those people who we want you to get rid of school debt. Why? Tell me, give me a reason why. Because it's burdensome and cumbersome. Well, I want you to get rid of my mortgage. Because when I signed on the dotted line, I knew what I was doing. But I was hoping somebody would bail me out. No. Off tax subsidies. Yeah, you got some subsidies. He's been hypocritical at the time, saying I don't think we should have subsidies. But you know what he does? He goes out and he takes the subsidies. Somebody willing to go, hey, we're going to give you $15 million from the state to build stuff and bring jobs here. Would you do that? Or we're going to give you, tax breaks for the next 20 years. Okay. What are you going to say? No, I don't think I should. He's a business person. They want the jobs. It looks great. How about all the subsidies and all the stuff we pay for stupid things like rail? Like here, we're getting ready to do 1 mile of track, and it's going to cost $4 billion. $4 billion for a mile of track to ride some hepatitis-infested vomit train that goes 3 miles an hour. How stupid is that? That's not a subsidy. That's a taxpayer subsidy right there. Nobody uses those things. Nobody uses it. Outside of New York, very few people use those things. London, very few people outside of a few cities use things like that. There's a Northeast corridor for Amtrak that's popular, and that's about it. Everything else is a throwaway. And when you talk about that is a huge subsidy. What do they say? No, it's okay. We're going to just try to make it on our own. Nice try. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Producer Phil, if you're there, could you please tell everybody what nature will do to you?
Nature will mess you up.
Mess you up. Every once in a while, though, you get to fire back at some things when it comes to nature. Case in point, the greatest ever review on TripAdvisor. Jessica's Place, which has hippos. They're supposed to be the baby bottle-fed raised hippos that are supposed to be friendly. For those of you who don't know, hippos kill a lot and they're meat. Natasha Vrani wrote, November 2021. Myself and my cousin were brutally attacked by Richie the hippo on the 14th of November at Jessica's Place. We were rushed to the Zanin Hospital, having several operations and infections setting in. No comment and lies from Shirley Joubert and Tony Joubert, owners of Jessica Place. I urge anyone not to put yourself or your family at risk. The hippos are not tame, can attack at any time. I'm disgusted that they were denying everything, and I want you all to know what you should be expecting when you visit Jessica's Place. Yeah. So, there you go. Jessica's Place. Although, outside of that, they got mostly good reviews. Have a great rest of your day. We got you over the hump. We'll do it. Night, Jack.
This is the Chad Benson Show.